Jamie, such a super tight turnaround to this game, and it's such a high stakes game. What's been the approach?
Um, well, what's the approach? We know most of the games that we go in are going to be tough. I think the way the league has been this year is, any team can hurt you, so we have to be mindful of that. But we take a lot of confidence from our win over the weekend. So there's no reason why we can't go and apply that philosophy again. So yeah, we're mindful of the opposition, but I think for the most part we concentrate on ourselves.
It's 6v7. Finals are obviously at stake. It's a huge game in the context of the season. The Wanderers have been a bit shaky. How big is this game?
It's as big as anyone wants to make it. At the end of the day, we have to approach it in the same manner that we approach any of our games. There are points up for grabs, and that's what we're intending to get. So we know they're a quality opposition, but so are we. And if we can get a run of momentum at this time of the season, that's to our benefit.
Jamie, game against the Knicks, easily one of the best performances from Melbourne City this season. What went so right in that game?
I think you could see the level of togetherness in our team. There was definitely a competitive edge. I thought that was evident. A lot of people have been speaking about Wellington in a positive light, and I think the way we performed showed where we played on the weekend, and that's what we're trying to emulate most games. So that was a good performance for us, and then the challenge is, can we emulate that and subsequent performances?
Because Aurelio mentioned after that game how you'd all had a conversation in the week about like the team's values and all of that sort of thing. What was said in that conversation and what effect did that have on the group?
Look, those types of conversations are in the sanctity of our dressing room. But I think a good sign of leadership is when you grow together and you go through things together and you come out the other side. We're certainly are not of the opinion to think that we're at the other side of anything. Is where it's just a work in progress every day. But when you put a performance like that against a team like Wellington, that's good. That's a good sign. So we need to continue to do that.
And I think you've just come from a team meeting, Jamie. How did all the boys look? Obviously, it was a really hot one against the Phoenix. How's everybody looking fitness-wise, health-wise? A few sore bodies?
I mean, look, we played a game 48 hours ago, so we're recovering from that, but we're preparing for this game. Western Sydney will have much of the same. So I think everyone's upbeat. This game that we played was good feedback for us. So I think everyone's positive going into this game.
Jamie, Aurelio said the other day, it felt like things were sort of turning your way in victory game, Sydney game, and this was just the one, that hurdle that you needed to get over with a win. Did it feel like a little bit of a potential turning point?
Um, yeah, I suppose you don't really know until after the fact, but yeah, I think yeah, this was a tough game to play against a team who's red hot in form. They've obviously surprised many people in the competition. So a turning point, we hope so. But now that's gone, and we have to go and do it against Western Sydney. So you take every challenge as it comes, and I think we'll go into this game with that in mind.
And just what have you made of the Wanderers, especially their attack? We know they can be quite dangerous on set pieces, something you've obviously got to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, of course they have different ways of scoring goals. Set pieces is one. I think one of their players is out, so that's to our benefit. But they can also go in transition as well. I know they press high. Milanovic, I played with him. We know he's a threat, so we know about these strengths. But I think for the most part, we concentrate on us and we double down on us.
Jamie, obviously things haven't been going that well for the Wanderers as of late, both results on and off the field. But is that maybe even more danger signs for you? Like a wounded animal is the most dangerous one, so to speak?
Nah, I don't read into anything like that. Concentrate on Melbourne City, concentrate on where our directionality, what we're about. And tomorrow we have to play the game on its merits.
Jamie, just on Nick Milanovic, you touched on, obviously you've played with him and he's been a particular threat aerially. Have you been surprised to see, sort of the success he's had, obviously playing alongside him, or is it something that's, not really surprised you with sort of his work ethic and what you've seen from him?
No, I don't think it's been surprising to me, having been with him for 2 years. You can see the assets that he has. Got a great left foot, a very strong right foot. He's a hard worker, and I think as a person, he's maturing quite nicely as well. That was clear to see from my perspective. So it's a good challenge for us, but yeah, he's having a good season. And you want good young Australians having good seasons, but tomorrow night it's all about Melbourne City as far as I'm concerned.
And I'm sure you've seen your former teammate Jack Hingett made the call up to the Sri Lankan national team. And correct me if I'm wrong, you are eligible. Has that been a consideration, maybe to sort of follow in his footsteps and maybe receive a call up sort of at this point in your career?
Um, I maybe it's not the right time for me, but of course I am from Sri Lanka. My mum's from that part of the world, and good for Jack as well. He's been around the game a long time. He's a good mate of mine. Happy for him, but I think for me it's probably not the right time. I'm very much concentrated on Melbourne City, but it's nice that people do get recognition from their countries.
And just Jamie, are you enjoying your football? You've had a fair chunk of this season at Melbourne City under your belt now. And we saw the intent and that sort of return to a bit more possession based and aggressive style on the weekend. Did you enjoy that and the role you've got to play in that?
Yeah. A good question. Most seasons I try and enjoy my football as much as I can. I think this is my 23rd, 24th year in the game. Um, and coming to a club like Melbourne City has been fantastic. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. We want to see more on the field, of course. That's as a player, why you turn up is you want to perform on the field and get results. But in terms of enjoying the club and being part of something, one of the biggest motivations as a player is to be part of winning teams, winning clubs, positive environments. So I'm glad I'm here, and I hope I can continue to keep contributing to the team.